They say evil awakens at night, and this video proves it. Terrifying crawlers, unseen visitors, and eerie stalkers. These are the entities that come out in the darkest hours and will haunt your nightmares.
There it is, look. There it is.
Back in December 2020, an explorer visited a deserted spot long rumored to be haunted. It didn't take long before he got his answer. On a cliff above, a strange figure robed in white appeared, moving in circles as if performing some kind of ritual. Before it could notice him, the man bolted from the area, probably a wise choice, since no one wants to risk a curse said to last 100 years. Many who saw the footage were convinced he had stumbled across a witch in the middle of her work.
Oh my gosh, Omar. What happened to you?
Abandoned walker. Exploring abandoned places at night never ends well. And this clip proved it again. An adventurer wandering through a deserted building had a terrifying encounter when a figure suddenly stepped out of a doorway. Its walk was unnatural, arms stretched forward like something out of a zombie movie. The face was even worse, dark, twisted, and with glowing eyes that locked straight on him. That single glance was enough. The explorer didn't stick around to investigate. He turned and bolted, clearly shaken and likely swearing never to come back. The footage left viewers wondering, was it a spirit, a demon, or something much darker? Hallway haunt. This unsettling clip had people convinced not all spirits came in peace. Hotel CCTV showed a man walking down a hallway before suddenly falling backward. At first, it looked like a slip, but then things turned strange. A dark shape emerged right as he hit the ground and seemed to drag him along the floor while he struggled to break free. Moments later, the shadow vanished and the man bolted in terror. When the footage was slowed down, a faint outline of the shadow appeared just as the man entered the frame, almost as if it had been waiting. Netizens were sure this was paranormal. Many even believed it was a shadow person trying to take control. Cursed doll. This clip might make you rethink ever bringing a doll home. A man returned after a long day, only to be met with something straight out of a nightmare. His doorbell camera caught him walking up to the house when the doll by the door suddenly moved its head, its eyes following him. Shocked, he instantly shoved it to the ground. His reaction looked raw and unplanned, which made it hard for skeptics to dismiss as a setup. Was it really a cursed doll? Or is there another explanation that makes more sense? What's your take on this? Hungry spirit. This eerie clip showed a woman closing up her small food stall late at night, but she wasn't alone. Right in front of the stall stood a humanoid figure that looked more like a mummy than a living person, with ragged hair draped over its shoulders. Strangely, the woman went about her work as if she didn't see it at all. The figure never moved, just stood there, unnervingly still. People filled the comments with theories, many suggesting it wasn't visible to the naked eye. Some believed it was a ghost returning for one last meal, though that unsettling stare looked far from friendly. Stream haunt. A guy was live on Instagram, joking around with his followers like any other night. Suddenly, the chat blew up with messages telling him to look behind him. At first, he brushed it off as trolling, but then he turned his head and froze. Just inches away was a pale, girl-like face staring right at him. For a split second, he didn't move, unsure if it was real or just some weird trick of the light. The eerie moment ended as quickly as it appeared, but it was enough to turn a normal live stream into something viewers are still talking about. Backyard stalker. A man dealing with strange disturbances in his backyard decided to set up a hidden camera, and what it caught left viewers stunned. In the middle of the night, a figure appeared. Its eyes glowed in the darkness, and it moved on two legs. At first, it seemed crouched low behind the grass, but then it slowly stood upright, revealing an unsettling silhouette. When the clip surfaced online, theories exploded. Some were convinced this was an alien watching from the shadows, while others argued it was the legendary Mothman finally caught on camera. Staircase lurker. After hearing unsettling noises inside their home, a family set up a CCTV camera to find out what was going on. That very night, the footage revealed something disturbing. Beneath the stairs, a face appeared, human-like, but with glowing eyes and a slack mouth. As it shifted into view, its body moved in an eerie, unnatural way that made it impossible to dismiss as a prank. The sight alone was enough to explain the strange sounds that had haunted the family for weeks. Terrified, they decided it was time to leave the house for good. Viewers were convinced this was a genuine paranormal encounter. Faceless witch. There's an old myth about a witch who roams the forest, luring children to their doom. One man decided to test it out for himself. He wrapped a recording device in cloth, playing the sounds of a baby crying, and left it beside a tree.
Okay, we bakal on pinggir sungai dulu, teman-teman.
When he returned later, he got more than he bargained for. A figure was crouched there, clutching the cloth to its mouth as if trying to consume it. The moment it noticed him, it quickly stood, dropping the cloth. When the footage was paused, the figure's face appeared eerily blank, completely without features. Hopefully, this curious adventurer didn't stick around to find out more. Horned watchers.
I'm gonna keep doing this. Or at him then. Right.
This eerie encounter left one man completely shaken. While standing outside his home at night, he noticed two strange figures across the road. In the dark, only their silhouettes were visible, humanoid shapes with horns on their heads. Thinking it was his friends playing a prank, he called out.
Bobby, is that you? Bobby. I get it, man.
But the figures didn't move. A passing car blocked the view for a moment, and when it cleared, the figures were gone. Rattled, the man rushed inside. Moments later, his doorbell rang. When he opened it, no one was there. But the second ring revealed them again. Two robed, horned figures standing in his yard. It wasn't his friends. Rooftop face. A late-night explorer wandered into an old abandoned site, camera in hand, hoping to capture something unusual. As he filmed the crumbling structure, his lens swept across the rooftop, though he didn't notice anything at the time. Later, while reviewing the footage, something chilling appeared. Zooming in, he spotted a pale face peeking out from behind a pillar. Its features looked strange, almost distorted, and the unsettling grin made it even more disturbing. People online debated whether it was the spirit of someone still lingering there, or something darker with intentions far from harmless. Either way, that creepy smile was impossible to forget. Reaching out.
No. Next time, Kaylee.
A team of ghost hunters set out to explore an abandoned house after hearing reports of strange activity. They placed a camera near the stairs and stayed connected on a video call. One of the girls sat quietly by the setup, waiting for something to happen. After a while, she noticed a shadowy head peek from the hallway. Moments later, a hand slowly reached out from the stairs, stretching toward her. She quickly grabbed the camera to capture it, but just as suddenly, the hand disappeared. Nothing remained, yet the silence that followed made the empty stairwell feel heavier than ever.
Shh! Go now.
Shed Skinwalker.
Escucha, hágale suavecito.
While working in his shed, a man heard noises coming from the ceiling and decided to check it out. Using a pole, he slowly pushed open the roof hatch, only to be met with a nightmare staring back at him. A pale face peered down, its features twisted and unnatural, with hollow black eyes that looked completely empty. Shocked, the man didn't waste a second before fleeing the scene. When the footage spread, many people claimed the encounter fit the description of a skinwalker seen up close. Ceiling watcher. A group of women were praying at the mosque one night when something unusual happened. One of them was recording the gathering, casually moving the camera around, when it accidentally caught something on the ceiling. Above the dark false ceiling, a figure seemed to be standing. Its face was pale, almost glowing against the shadows, while the rest of it looked draped in black. The face appeared to be staring down at the women with a sharp scowl. The one filming swore it was impossible for anyone to be up there unless they could fly. She insisted it was a jinn. Let me know your take on this in the comments. Street shadow. A street surveillance camera captured something chilling at night. A dark humanoid shape appeared on the road just as a car drove straight through it. At first, it seemed like a camera trick, but what followed made it harder to dismiss. The car stopped, and the driver quickly stepped out, looking around in confusion. Clearly, he had seen it too. He seemed worried he might have hit someone, yet the road was empty. The shadow had vanished the moment the car passed through. After searching and finding nothing, the two people inside eventually drove off. Netizens believed they had witnessed the spirit of someone tied to that very road's past. Tree creature. In Mexico, a local out for a walk stumbled on something that looked like it belonged in a fantasy tale. Clinging to the trunk of a palm tree was a large creature. Its glowing eyes caught on camera in the dark. This was no cat, no animal the man recognized. As the bizarre clip spread online, many insisted it could only be a werewolf caught off guard. Others speculated it was a new kind of cryptid. Skeptics, though, weren't buying it, arguing the shadows made any creature look strange and unidentifiable. Still, the eerie sight left plenty unsettled. Midnight encounter. Two friends were driving past a quiet park late at night when something strange caught their eyes. At first, it looked like a long-limbed, dog-like creature. Curious, they slowed down for a closer look, and that's when they saw it. A pale, slender figure crawling on all fours, moving toward the car. For a brief, chilling moment, it locked eyes with them, glowing and ferocious looking. The clip spread fast, with many claiming it was a rake or even a skinwalker. Skeptics called it a hoax, but others aren't so sure. If it wasn't that, then what was it? Street creature. A strange clip made rounds online, sparking talk of extraterrestrials. The CCTV outside a quiet home showed an empty street at night, until something walked into view. At first glance, it looked human, but the longer it moved, the harder it was to explain away. This wasn't a glitch. It walked quickly, its form shifting, almost fading in and out. A dog nearby reacted instantly, barking and growling as if sensing something unnatural. The figure kept moving until it reached the edge of the frame, then seemed to vanish into thin air. Some online were convinced it was an alien. Others thought it might have been a shapeshifter caught slipping through its disguise. Night Satyr.
Nadie debió traerte a este plano. Cruz sacra sin mihi lux, non draco sin mihi dux.
A man stepped outside at night hoping for fresh air, but instead found himself face to face with something terrifying. From the shadows, a creature appeared to be watching him. At first glance, it seemed humanoid, but its lower body told another story. The hindquarters and legs of a goat. The man swore it even had horns, though the darkness made them hard to see. Its movement was strange, awkward, almost jerking, before it suddenly vanished into the night. Shaken, the man rushed inside and locked every door. When the footage and story spread online, many were convinced he had come across a satyr, the half-human, half-goat figure of legend.
Le brillan los ojos horrible, ¿eh? In nomine Patri et Filii et Spiritus Sancti, amén.
Witch. A bizarre clip made its way online, leaving viewers unsettled. It showed a woman sitting on the ground, but if you looked closely, her hands seemed unusually distorted. According to legend, witches appear ordinary at first glance, until you notice something off about their hands or feet. The uploader even claimed he had witnessed this woman fall from a flying broom, suggesting she was stalling by chatting with onlookers who had seen her. Theories spread fast. Some were convinced she was a witch caught off guard, while skeptics dismissed it as nothing more than a staged hoax. Still, the footage raised eyebrows.
¿Cómo te se cayó? Volando estaba, ¿no verdad?
Sí.
Crying lure. This next encounter shows why late-night walks can turn terrifying fast. A local spotted a woman crouched on the street, her back toward him, sobbing softly. Thinking she needed help, he called out, but she gave no reply, only continued crying.
Masuk yuk. Siapa ini? Hey.
Concerned, he stepped closer and gently touched her shoulder. That's when she slowly turned, and what he saw was no ordinary face. Twisted, unnatural, and terrifying, it sent him sprinting away without once looking back. The clip spread quickly, with many pointing to old legends of shapeshifters. They're said to lure humans with cries or illusions, waiting for the moment someone makes the mistake of reaching out.
Kenapa? Kamu kenapa?
Doorway stare. The Appalachian Mountains already have a reputation for strange sightings, but this one still shook people up. A man recorded eerie footage at night after spotting a figure standing at his front door, staring inside. Its face was ghostly white, with hollow eyes and dark lips, like something out of a horror film, not real life. The figure then shifted behind the door, almost as if it didn't want to be seen, or maybe waiting to lure him out. People online had plenty of theories. Some swore it was a ghost, others called it a demon, but skeptics suggested something worse, a masked intruder, and somehow that feels far scarier. Window hands.
Leave. Stop.
This might be one of the scariest encounters yet. A man alone at home was working when he heard loud banging. Checking it out, he found a pair of pale hands slamming against his window, with no body attached. As he approached, the hands vanished right in front of the camera. When he opened the window, no one was there. But the moment he came back inside, the hands reappeared in the same spot. The next morning, he filmed a shadow gliding across his front door, followed by knocks.
This happens over and over. And then the knocking happened. The knocking. There it is. And it just goes and goes.
Later, his bathroom light flickered, and a dark figure was caught peeking at him from the doorway. Many believe he's dealing with something demonic. And maybe it's time he moved out.
What is that? Who are you? I'm not gonna hurt you.
Festival Phantom. A man was recording a lively night festival, completely unaware of what he was about to capture. As his camera panned across the crowd, everything seemed normal, until something in the background caught attention. Floating high above the audience was a strange, human-like figure dressed in a white robe, eerily still. Some claimed it was a spirit watching the celebration. Was this a ghostly presence, or something far more terrifying? Let me know what you think in the comments. Ghostly conversation. This eerie clip spread fast online. It showed a man in a park at night, standing by the swings and talking. Except no one was there. The swings were empty. Moments later, one began to sway on its own. The man looked over, smiled, and kept chatting like it was the most normal thing. Before leaving, he even said goodbye to the invisible presence. People were unsettled, convinced he was speaking to someone who had already passed away, a friend or loved one he still greeted as if alive. Others think something darker was going on. Forest Beast. In March 2025, a strange video began making rounds online, stirring all kinds of cryptozoology debates. The footage showed a dark forest at night where something appeared to be moving among the trees. The figure looked bipedal, with the outline of a humanoid beast. Some were quick to suggest it was Bigfoot finally caught on camera, while others thought it could be an entirely new kind of forest cryptid. Skeptics, of course, weren't convinced, dismissing it as CGI or editing. Still, the eerie movement left many wondering what exactly was lurking in those woods. Midnight Swing.
3 de la madrugada. No mames, le brillan los ojos.
A man living next to a park rushed outside one night after hearing strange creaking sounds. To his surprise, one of the swings was moving, with someone sitting on it. At first it seemed odd but harmless, until the figure lifted its head. Its eyes glowed brightly in the dark, nothing like a human's. The longer he filmed, the more uneasy he felt. What kind of person would be swinging alone in the middle of the night, and with eyes like that? When the figure fixed its glowing stare directly at him, he bolted. Many who saw the footage believed he had stumbled on a shapeshifter struggling to hold its disguise.
No seas mamón. Mames.
Roadside Woman. A man driving late at night along a wooded road had an encounter that shook him. He stopped suddenly when he saw a woman pacing in the middle of the road. She had long hair, a flowing dress, and never once looked up as his motorcycle approached, which only made the scene stranger. He filmed the entire moment and later shared it online, asking for opinions. Netizens quickly split into theories. Some insisted it was the ghost of a woman who had passed away in a tragic accident on that very road, while others believed it was a witch trying to lure him closer. Cloaked Being. A street surveillance camera recorded a quiet night until something strange stepped into view. The figure looked humanoid, but not quite human, with an oversized head and an awkward gait that set it apart instantly. It paused, glancing around as if sensing it was being watched. Then, right in front of the camera, it suddenly phased out and vanished. The clip left people divided. Some thought it had walked away too quickly to catch, but many believed it never left at all, only cloaked itself using alien technology to stay hidden from sight. Either way, the eerie footage had everyone talking. Window Beast. A couple of friends were driving past a derelict house when they spotted something unsettling. A figure standing in the window, staring out at them. One of them quickly began filming, and what the camera caught looked far from ordinary. The figure was humanoid, but appeared unusually large, its eyes glinting in the darkness as it locked onto the lens. The shadows made it difficult to make out exact details, but the sheer size of its silhouette sparked debate. Some insisted it looked like Bigfoot watching from inside, while others argued it was just a person. Either way, the sight was chilling. Farm Duende. A farm surveillance camera caught something deeply unsettling. At first, the footage looked normal until the horses suddenly grew restless. Their agitation escalated until they bolted straight through the fence, desperate to escape from something unseen. When the owner reviewed the clip and zoomed in, the cause became clearer. Among the fleeing horses, a small figure could be seen darting around, visibly disturbing them. Netizens who saw the footage were quick to weigh in, with many convinced it was a duende, mischievous creatures often mentioned in folklore. Skeptics struggled to offer another explanation. What else could have caused such panic in the animals? Hooded Intruder. One night, homeowners spotted something chilling on their security camera. The footage began calmly, until a figure appeared. It was draped head to toe in a long robe, hiding every detail. It moved slowly, unnaturally through the street. As it stepped into the frame, the lights flickered on and off. Moments later, a car passed by, and the figure froze completely, standing motionless until the vehicle was gone. That behavior sparked endless theories online. Was it a ghost? Or something far more disturbing? Maybe a skinwalker trying to conceal a half-shifted form under that robe? Vanishing woman. A street surveillance camera captured a woman dressed in black walking down a quiet residential road at night. At first, nothing seemed unusual until her form began to fade. The footage showed her shape distorting as if she had morphed into something else entirely before vanishing from sight. People were left unsettled, debating whether the figure had been a skinwalker or a restless spirit haunting the area. No further details ever surfaced about the woman or the incident, leaving only the grainy, chilling clip behind, and the unsettling thought that she might still be wandering somewhere, unseen. Thank you very much for watching the video. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.